Francis Maxwell.
Well,
UFC
that was like a good synchronized intro.
It was a nice clap. UFC 215 has taken a major blow as Demetrious Johnson will not be setting the record for most consecutive title defenses against Ray Borg, because Ray Borg, 24 hours after he said he was in the best shape of his life, is obviously not in the best shape of his life. He got ill, and now he's not fighting. So the 215 main event canceled. This happened at around 9:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Specifically Pacific time.
Specifically Pacific time. Which, man, the UFC is taking... The UFC has turned into Homer Simpson against Derek Tatum, or it might have been against Mike Tyson.
It's Mike Tyson.
It's Mike Tyson playing as Mike Tyson, where Homer is just taking punch after punch after punch, and the UFC really needs a helicopter to airlift Tatum out of that ring. Yeah. Because not that this fight itself was going to come even close to 1 million pay-per-view buys, maybe 600,000, but they just keep sliding down. It's like when it rains, it pours in this sense. I wanted to watch Demetrious Johnson break the record. I had way more interest in watching Demetrious Johnson versus Ray Borg, even though I don't think Ray Borg was going to really offer up any competition to Mighty Mouse. Nunes versus Shevchenko, interesting, sure, but the card itself, man, you take them off the list. I mean, I'm still going to watch because I like the UFC. Dos Anjos is on there. Yeah. Gilbert Melendez is the first main card event, and Gilbert Melendez is coming off the back of 3 straight losses to Edson Barbosa, Eddie Alvarez, and Anthony Pettis. He last won in 2013. He's fighting, Jeremy Stevenson. So, what does the UFC do?
The thing is with this is I'm a little split, right? Because what the UFC has in its favor is that niche audience that is grown, right? That appreciates, that they were there at the beginning. They're the ones that feel entitled in every comment section. You can go and look at them. Well, you guys are just bandwagoners. We loved the UFC before the UFC was the UFC. But they're going to stick around. They're going to watch, right?
So that sounds like about football.
Yeah,
and we played both sides of the ball when I played, kid. I was like, God damn crap, I can't do that anymore. Oh my God.
So what it means is they're still going to have a good amount of viewership, right? But what has also happened with the UFC is the other side of it, which is the money grabbing. Let's grow as a business. All fair, like whatever you want to make your money. Dana White side, where Conor McGregor came in, an explosion happened, and they wanted to hold everything to that standard, right? And that is what happens when you see something that hits and it trends, and you're like, oh, let's just always be like that. You go out one Saturday night and you hook up with the best looking girl in the bar. You want to go out every Saturday night. And what happens the next one? Butterface.
Immediately? Usually it's like a slow decline.
Yeah, well, usually.
10,
but
8, 6, 3, oh God.
Regardless, it's
only photographs with the 3 though.
It never happens it never happens week in, week out, as much as you might want it to. So that's what's probably the UFC's facing right now.
Life advice from Francis.
Life advice. I gave more life advice yesterday. Did you see it on Twitter?
What was his life advice?
Regardless how cool you think you look in a passport photo, you'll still look like you should be kept 20 feet from a school. Always.
Oh my God.
It is. I try to look cool. I posted it on Twitter. You can check it out. I'm sure at this point either Mary or whoever's our co-editor are putting it up. I was thinking to myself in my head, I was like, gonna look cool, gonna look cool, gonna look cool. Sat there and the guy went, okay, that's it. Checked it when it came out.
I experienced what it's like to be a privileged American when I went to get my passport, because holy shit, like there's a passport office there at the airport at LAX. First, they make you wait. And wait. It's like an 8-hour process, and like they were just closing their door on so many people, and to be honest, so many just not white people. Like it just is, and that's sad for so many reasons. It was a long wait, and I felt bad, but I was like, I still need to go to Mexico. So
I wasn't in the passport. I was in CVS.
They were like, do you want the easy pass to get into Mexico and back? I was like, I'm sorry, what? They're like, it's not like a full passport. It's like they compared it to a sun pass, which is the same thing as Easy Pass if you're on the East Coast. Same thing as like whatever you have in highways. That's like you don't have to pay for the toll.
Oh, the Metro Pass.
The Metro Pass. So like,
they give you one of those from Mexico?
No, they can though. It's like, here, you just take this. You don't need a passport, but you just kind of flash it at the border. I was like, what? An Easy Pass to get into fucking Mexico? What are they kind of splitting into? Like, please don't go faster than 35 miles.
Yeah, you just bomb by them.
Back to the UFC really quick though, because Ray Borg, here's a video of him via TMZ Sports saying 24 hours beforehand that he was in the best shape of his life.
Demetrious Johnson, this is the biggest fight that you could possibly have in your weight class. Couple days out now. How are you feeling?
I feel fantastic, man. Weight's good. Feeling sharp. Best shape I've ever been in my life. I feel really good about this whole entire camp and this fight in general. If I had to say anything to DJ, is just, be ready to be for me to be all up in your face September 9th, because I am not going away. You know, that whole 25 minutes, if it has to go 25 minutes, I don't care what's going on in the fight. I am going to be in your face the whole entire time, and this isn't going to be an easy fight for you.
Okay, so no, he wasn't. But I wonder if it's weight cutting, because if it's weight cutting, that's a major, major issue. And I am getting to the point of straight fear that somebody will die from weight cutting. And there needs to be some rule put in place. And it's been an issue in the UFC and MMA and boxing and all combat sports for years, because a lot of these fighters are coming in 2 days before and cutting obviously such a tremendous amount of weight.
And then trying to put it back on as much as possible.
But even before they get to the back to putting it back on, they're in the hospital.
Yeah.
Khabib and all these guys have been, and sometimes females too in the sport.
It happens, I think, more so with females simply because they, as we mentioned before, they don't have enough weight classes. So, I mean, we were going to do the clip, I think Paige Van Zandt, we can combine it, where she's talking about how there's a lack of weight class and she almost was hurting herself to try and make weight. And it's because they don't have enough options, I believe, in that division. We talked about Cyborg until we're blue in the face, because she was one of the most prominent examples of someone, the video of her brutal efforts to try and put herself in amidst a weight class that she can compete at.
Monday morning. Getting out of bed for
trying to get out of bed, she was just absolutely exhausted. So,
especially after a holiday Tuesday morning.
Jason, you coming in? No, not getting up. Coffee.
Do you play the alarm game where you just sit there and hit snooze 455 times,
many times
and all of a sudden you're like, well, if I just sleep through the show, then I shouldn't even show up?
Yeah, very good point.
What did she say? I'm sick. So
it's a problem, man. It's like they try. It's not like it's a new problem. It's an old-fashioned technique that has worked in the past. But as the more we move forward to the physical expectations of these fighters, like as we are developing, as definitely as people get more in physical shape, that you have to hit this certain standard, it becomes so tough to try and consistently hit that class, especially if you're trying to gain an advantage over your opponent. You want to add some extra weight. I mean, there was rumors like McGregor came in, hit weight, and then was back up to like 170. I don't know how that's physically possible. And do you remember watching? You ever watch the movie Foxcatcher?
Foxcatcher's a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Steve Carell
and Channing Tatum. And there was that scene that was. I read up on the scene afterwards.
Breathing under his nose type of thing.
I read up on the scene afterwards because I thought it was such an interesting scene where Channing Tatum's character was out in the hallway drenching himself with towels and bin bags to try and hit the weight that he had to hit for competing in professional wrestling, and it doesn't look fun. Tell you that. Not something I want to be doing.
No, I agree with that. Just in general, Foxcatcher's a great movie to be.
I liked it, yeah.
And it's also like one of those movies where we realize, man, Steve Carell could really, really act. And he's not just funny, he's just a good actor. And now there's like all these memes coming up, like Steve Carell went from the guy who shows up an hour before the party to, I might stop by.
Oh, I seen the mic moving.
Whoa!
Yeah, so I did high school wrestling for about 3 years, and all sorts of methods of cutting weight were used, from the entire spectrum of healthy to unhealthy. And like you said, the trash bags were definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Like we would work out in them to sweat more. We would sleep in them. We would then sit in the bathroom with the hot shower on with the trash bags over us to like drain the water out. And what ends up happening is your body has like a very tender balance of pH and waters and sweats and nutrients inside of you. So when you sweat out that much, you're just losing a lot of things that your body has worked very hard to balance. You're just draining like key nutrients that you really, really need. It's a super unhealthy method, but it does cut weight fast. It's super effective. So that's why it's been around for so long.
Yeah, it's. I remember trying to indulge in it when I was trying to train for preseason back in college, and it wasn't because I wanted to cut weight. I felt like for some reason I was so misinformed that I wanted to sweat more to get my cardio up a little bit more. So I'd go run with the bin bag on. I thought that was a great idea. In Scotland, we call it a bin bag. And I tried it in LA on one day, and that was the last time I ever did it.
Bin bags and ball bags.
So hot.
What a name for a show.
It was awful.
Bin bags and ball bags.
I don't think anyone wants to watch that.
Watch bin bags and ball bags.
You know what a ball bag is? I told you this.
It's like a ball sack or something.
No, it's a scrotum.
It's a what? It's a scrotum. Yeah. See, I know what it is. I've learned Scottish.
Spelled B-A-W.
B-A-W.
Bag.
ball bag. You're all a bunch of ball bags.
By the way, I just realized this. I know of all people, this is gonna make you laugh so much, and you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to keep saying this.
You'll never see my smile.
If you say "raise up lights," right? Raise up lights. You're saying razor blades in an Australian accent. Keep saying it.
No, fuck you.
Say it.
No, fuck you.
Just go to say it over the mic once.
Sure, go give us
raise up lights.
You've been nominated. You've been elected.
He's out there laughing because he can't stop saying it to himself. I kept doing it for at least. I was doing it for at least 20 minutes. I was like, and I kept trying to say it in different ways. I was like, raise up lights. Raise up lights.
Raise up lights.
Raise up lights. Raise up lights. It's amazing. That's amazing. This world works. Raise up lights. Raise up lights.
At Francis M. Ballbag on Twitter. At Jesus M. Bimbag on Twitter. And comment below and all the good stuff. Chicoy's not on Twitter yet.
Never will be.
Never will be.